Welcome to 734 Games, and this is your host Tom. And today we're playing Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch and Sony. Now, this is a game set in around the 11th century in Japan, or actually on Tsushima Island, when it's being invaded by the Mongols from China. And they obviously came through Korea, and Tsushima Island is basically located between Japan and Korea. It's a little closer to Korea. But this game we're talking about is basically an open world game where you play as a samurai who's wounded on the beach in the first battle, and someone nurses him to health, and he goes out and he tries to help his countrymen take back Tsushima Island. So we're going to start off talking about the presentation of this game. Now, the presentation of this is definitely a AAA game. Now, the game was not developed in Japan, although the publisher, Sony, is obviously from Japan. Now, as far as the presentation is concerned, the graphics of Tsushima Island is very picturesque and beautiful. In the background, you'll see the vegetation and the grass move along with the wind, just like it's supposed to. You'll see wildlife in the background, and some of that wildlife, like the foxes, you follow, and you'll get certain perks from following the foxes to the little fox den. They'll take you to a shrine, and you'll get a perk from bowing at the shrine. And you also have these hot fountains that you go to, and basically your health bar, you can increase your health bar by going to these hot springs and relaxing. And of course you get perks from like doing haikus in certain areas, but the environments are very beautiful and everything looks just like it's supposed to. And of course there's a day and night cycle, so that looks awesome. And everything moves just like it. I mean, everything in the environment. This game is very immersive, is what I'm trying to say visually, and everything looks just like it's supposed to. Now, as far as the audio is great. I'm using the Japanese voice track with subtitles, and the Japanese actors do a great job with the voice acting. And I'm pretty sure they had to have some Japanese writers for this game because Americans generally do not translate Japanese very well, even in news articles and such. Like, they don't, like, it seems like whenever we get a translation of something someone says that says in Japan, it's usually a little bit off, or we don't really understand exactly what they meant. A lot of times, I don't know, it's weird, but this game is very well done and very well written, and it's very immersive, and the audio is excellent. Everything sounds. They even have 3D audio for headphones, and most games, especially on the PlayStation 4, do not have 3D audio. So if you stick your headphones in there, I have a pair of razors. I put them in there and get 3D audio, and it sounds great. So this game definitely has the AAA presentation that you're looking for. Now, as far as the combat engine. The combat engine is really well done. Sucker Punch did a very competent job of creating the combat engine, and I would have to say that now this isn't a full review. I haven't played the full game, so I'm not going to review it until I'm finished. But the combat engine is very well done. Sucker Punch Studios did the series of what was it? Infamous. They did Infamous and Infamous Second Son. Sorry about that. My mind went blank on that. But those were fun games, and those were well done, and they were games that heavily based on combat. Now, in those games, those games were kind of more shooters. I mean, you basically shot lightning bolts or whatever out of your hands, or fireballs. This game is more melee based, and they do a pretty good job. There's no lock on, which is kind of weird and can be annoying sometimes. But the game is still really very intuitive. I mean, once you really get used to the controls, it's different than a lot of other games. Once you get used to the controls, you'll really enjoy this game. You have different stances for different enemies. Like, you have a stance for sword wielders. For, like, if you have a guy wielding a single sword or a double sword, you have the same stance for him. But if you have a brute, you have a different stance for the brute. And if you have somebody with a sword and a shield, you have yet another stance. And for spear wielders, you have another stance for them. So basically, their different stances help you fight off different characters. And you have a pretty good leveling tree. You have a leveling tree for your ghost abilities, and you have a leveling tree for your samurai abilities. So, I mean, there's just a lot here. And this is definitely a game with a lot of intricacies that you'll probably enjoy if you like this type of game. Now, as far as difficulty, the game is not as difficult as, say, a Dark Souls game, but it is. It has. Well, the thing. This is the thing. It's very easy, but you can easily mess up as well. It's very easy to mess up and get killed by any little enemy in the game. That's the thing. So, like, in battles are very quick. The violence is very fast, and there's just, you get off your horse and you just fight. You'll fight to free a hostage, and so if something goes wrong, you can die. But most of the time, it's pretty easy to kill the bad guys, and you got a lot of weapons. You get not spears, but you get these throwing knives. You get these you have obviously your sword, your katana, and you have your bow and arrow. And you have bombs too you can use. So I mean, there's a lot of weapons here, and there's just a lot to get into in this game, a lot of quests. And if you like open world games, you will love Ghost of Tsushima, definitely. Now, I'm not going to review this game yet, but I'm going to tell you this is definitely a must buy. Definitely pick this one up if you're sitting on the fence. And I mean, obviously PlayStation 5 is coming out soon, but we have no idea what the price is. We have no idea if it's going to have backwards compatibility. So if you want to play this game and you don't have a PlayStation 4, I'd say it's worth getting a used PlayStation 4 and playing this game. And that's pretty much it for this episode of 734 Games. This is your host, Tom, signing off from 734 Games, where gaming is alive.
志村から己のことは聞いておるぞ、堺人。こやつに見せてやる。己が我に蹂躙されて情けをこう姿をな。さあどうする、堺人。